Hey everybody, welcome to Airsoftology Mondays, a show that answers your questions, helps you in a pinch, and also tells you why not wearing face protection in a big game is probably a bad idea. And we are back for another fantastic show. Tons of questions. I mean, full of really good ones. And I got some programming notes here before we jump into those questions though. So first off, I have a couple reviews coming this week. I've got something that's really unique. It's not even an airsoft gun. It's something kind of off the wall. And I have one of my side-by-side reviews. A lot of people are wondering, hey, should I buy this one? Should I buy that one? So I try to do a side-by-side of the same model gun. And this one I'm doing some MP5 comparisons. So you can decide, well, is it worth buying this one or that one for the money? So that'll be coming up a little bit later on this week. Also, yes, it is it. This is the week. It is the loadout video. Finally, I know you guys are like, you won't even believe me. I guarantee I'll have like the non-believers down there going, no way, Jonathan, you're not going to do a loadout video. But I am. It is ready and it's going up this week. And I want to get it up now because I'm starting my Copperhead gameplay footage and gameplay series. And that'll be kicking off starting next week and running for 4 weeks after that. Also, next week, I'm heading to Operation Broken Home. And if you guys aren't going, I'm so sorry. You really need to go to the game. It is so much fun. If you've never had a chance to go to a big Milsim op from American Milsim, Operation Broken Home is their flagship. It is huge. I think the field's like 1,400 acres or maybe give or take. I think we use like 300 or 400 acres, I think is actually what we play on of it. So yeah, trucks, vehicles, cars, and helicopters. Yes, real helicopters. So it's gonna be so much fun. It's what I look forward to every year. And this year, I'm bringing my teammate with me. I think it's the first time I've actually had a group of guys from my team actually come and play. So myself and 4 others, all crammed in a hotel room doing the a big op thing. So anyway, look forward to that. I'll be kind of doing some live tweeting as best I can. The internet service there is a little iffy, but I'll keep you posted on next week's Mondays show on any programming notes. For example, I may be pushing back Mondays to Tuesday because it is a holiday and it might be tough for me to hit it. But enough of me rambling on. Let's dive on into what you're really here for, and that is your questions. Jiraga writes, yo bro, there's been a lot of talk about where Krytacs sit in the realms of quality over here. Obviously, we're only just receiving Krytacs and only one retailer I know of is distributing them, but how do they stack up against the premium brands? So Jiraga is based in London. So you're talking about the UK and Europe, and that's actually, the timing of this question is interesting because Krytac is launching in the EU. So if you guys are watching in the European Union and in the UK, you're going to be able to start getting Krytacs in your countries respectively. I'm not sure exactly which countries specifically, but I think it blankets pretty much all of Europe where airsoft is legal to play. So that's going to be a really good thing. Personally, I've got a Krytac. I love mine. It is such a solid gun. For a base gun, for right around that low 300 mark, you get so much in it. I mean, the motor's awesome. They've got a great MOSFET built into it. The gears are really solid. The mech box is built really well with actually a really high grade metal. There's a lot going for it. So yeah, as way of like quality, it is definitely up there with the rest of those premium brands. And you guys are in for a treat. Like I said, I've been really enjoying mine and it's one of my favorite go-to guns. It and a few other brands I kind of swap in and out that are all on that premium tier. If you have the money, of course. Obviously, you know, you do have to pay for that premium gun and, you know, it jumps up to that low 300s, which is above some people's budgets, at least in the US. Now, I'm not sure what they're going to release in the respective countries. I know there's that and VAC and all those taxes and stuff like that. Again, I'm just an American guy. I don't know all the laws and the stuff going on in all the European countries. So it could fluctuate a lot. I mean, I know a lot of the airsoft guns in the EU and in the UK can get up there in price compared to the ones here in the US. But as for quality, you're set. These guys are really good. They're doing some great stuff. And if you guys live in those countries, be on the lookout. I think today's the 11th. So I think they started on the 8th. So they're going to start trickling in over the next few weeks. J.E. writes, hiya Jonathan, I was watching a video of you at Copperhead and noticed you were not wearing any face or mouth protection. Are you nuts or do you have some sort of superpower? Tell us about it. Love the show. Very much appreciate your hard work. So yeah, you probably saw me outside when I was starting the game, the very first push, and actually throughout most of the day, depending on engagement distance, depending on how aggressive I was feeling, I was not wearing face protection at those times. I know it's probably a dumb idea. I do have a little mouth guard that goes in to protect my teeth because dental bills really stink and they're really expensive too. But as for a full face guard for that time, I was not wearing one. Is it something I'd recommend doing? Probably not, because the only reason I really did is I knew I'd be doing a little bit of a leadership role at that point for the squad, so I'd be standing back a little bit from the firefight at those moments. When I did enter, close quarters, the face protection went on, except for one time. I actually got stuck in a house, and you guys will see this in my Copperhead video. Got stuck in the closet and fought my way out, and it was crazy. And I might have mentioned this on a previous show when I talked about US Airsoft's video of me doing that. And that was really hairy. I busted out of there, and by the time it was all over, I realized, oh wait, I didn't have face protection on or any kind of mouth protection at the time, which would have been a very bad situation. Just remember, there's no smiling in Airsoft because those teeth, you keep them covered. But yeah, if you guys are going to be playing, I highly recommend putting some sort of face pro on or just grow a really big beard. JMO2701 writes, hey Jonathan, love the show, keep up the good work. Is it possible to both get a high firing rate and a high FPS out of an AEG? So out of an automatic electric gun or AEG, you absolutely can. The high rate of fire and high FPS are not mutually exclusive things. That means they both can live together in the same gun, but be prepared to spend money for it. Now, I'm not sure what your definition of high rate of fire is, but I know, for example, the guys at Airsoft Barracks in Jacksonville have guns that are shooting, for proof of concept, in the 500s, in the 30s, and I think they've even broke 40 and even more, but I'm talking reliably. I mean, I've seen them shoot in the 500s and the 50s or higher. I mean, these guys are tuning their stuff nuts and above that. But for something in a reliable, when I say reliable, it's very possible. Now, do you want to have that high rate of fire and high FPS? I don't know why you'd want to combine those two, unless you just got a grudge against somebody, or you play somewhere where there's no limits or high limits. But aside from that, yeah, you can do what you want. I mean, if you're looking at like something at 450, if you're a field like my field, is my local field, Bad Karma, has really high limits. It's 425 with a 0.25 gram BB, so that's what, 470 something with a 0.2. So it's really high limits, but the engagement distance are really far for the most part. And yeah, there's no real rate of fire limit there. So it's some place where you can have a high rate of fire and a higher FPS as well. So yeah, they are, but like I said, be prepared to spend the money. You really have to reinforce everything in there when you're dealing with a high rate of fire and a really strong spring. You're going to start wearing those parts out a little faster than normal, so you need to buy the good stuff and make sure you go to a really good shop. Ian Olbs writes, Dear Jonathan, I was looking for a sidearm and looking into a Glock. I've been searching around but can't seem to find it. Any ideas? Thanks. So yeah, Glocks are going to be very tough to find. Now with Glock and Airsoft, Glock is not doing any kind of Airsoft licensing at the moment. And at the same time, they're also sending cease and desist letters to companies that are selling unlicensed Glock replicas. So anything that looks like a Glock, even if it doesn't have the Glock logo on it. So those are situations you're going to be dealing with where you're going to have a licensing problem. I really wish Glock would open up to the Airsoft world and do some licensed replicas with some company, like sign a licensing deal with anybody out there that could help rep their brand and bring them in. Now, if you really are looking for them, it's going to be a huge dice roll, and you're going to be taking a big risk trying to bring it into the country. I'm assuming you're US, by the way, here, because some of the other countries, like in Europe and Japan, there's not issues like as stringent issues as we're having here with the trade dress, which is the look of the Glock, and that's what Glock is enforcing. So if you're trying to get them in the US, that's going to be your big challenge. You can import them from overseas. There are sites that have them. There's WE and Stark Arms, both make Glocks, but you're going to be taking a big risk. So be prepared. If you're going to do that, be prepared to lose your money, because technically you're bringing in an illegal product into the United States. So if customs opens it up, it's going to be gone. But if you're looking for something that will work like a Glock and seems like a Glock, there's a couple good options. The Echo One Timberwolf pistol is based on that. Timberwolf is a mod of a Glock. It's a company that does some modifications to the frame and the body around real Glocks. So you're going to find it will fit in Glock holsters and feel very familiar and have some enhancements, as well as the KWA ATP. It was designed to be very similar to a Glock and have a lot of the same features and fit in Glock holsters, but still have its own unique design and some enhancements as well, like an adjustable, like the straps, back straps on the pistol grip, so you can size it up or size it down depending on your hand, and some other features. Plus, they have the full auto version, the ATP Auto. So those are two good options that are not Glocks, but are great alternatives if you're looking for something that's familiar. Travis Slater writes, what's the pink tip bullet in the background? So I'm guessing you mean this guy right here. It usually hides back over here on my shoulder, and I've sometimes had it under my monitors over here. This is a simunition round. So what it is, it's 9mm. It actually has a cap like a real bullet. I'll try to get it close to the camera. Hopefully it's not too blurry. And then it has a plastic cap that's scored with a bit of pink wax on the inside. So how this works is there's a special barrel. You have to change your barrel of your pistol out and put the smoothbore barrel. They're not rifled. And it goes in a real firearm, and it fires this little plastic projectile that splatters. It cracks open on impact, and puts, basically it's like a pink crayon, just marks you as it hits. It does come in other colors as pink. I think there's blue and green as well for the sim rounds. And like I said, these things hurt a lot more when they hit you than a paintball. So it's definitely not something you want to get shot on bare skin, or even just wearing some thin clothes like a t-shirt like this. All right, guys, that's it for questions this week, which means it is time for my video recommendation of the week. And this one is one of my favorite gaming channels these days. If you guys are, I've been getting like heavy duty into Arma 3, and I'm actually thinking about doing some gameplay videos myself around Arma 3, but this is Jester814, and he does Arma and then a couple other games as well, but mainly Arma is what I watch for. Really long format Arma gameplay, like almost an hour, hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes a piece, and his stuff is really good. I don't know, I just kind of get lost watching it. I'll have it on one of the screens when I'm doing editing or answering emails or, you know, writing reviews or what I'm doing. It's just good kind of like background, and when a firefight kicks up, I get really engaged, and it's kind of distracting, but it's great. So if you guys have not checked out Jester814 and you guys are into Arma, and I forget some of the other games he does, not really anything I play though, definitely check out his channel. I have a link to it down in the description, as well as this video. He has an ongoing video series with his task force that he does, and this is a realism unit. So they use all the radio mods, and they change all the skins so the tanks and everything are realistic, and they role play as specific military units when they're playing, and they try to use comms and call in airstrikes and all that. So it's really cool to watch if you guys are into kind of like it's like the closest thing I can say is like going to a Milsim event in a video game world is this guy. So yeah, check it out. Like I said, links down in the description below. Well, guys, that's it for questions this. Well, guys, that's it for Mondays this week. Well, guys, that's it for Mondays this week. And remember, if you want to get your question answered on the show, it's really simple. Just put it in the comment section below. Vote up your favorites. And don't be discouraged if I can't get to your question this week. Keep putting it up there. I do pay attention to all the questions that are re-asked. I try to get to them eventually. Most shows, I'll start with like 12 or 15 questions and narrow it down to about 6 by the time I actually get it on the air. And there's a lot of great ones that unfortunately I have to cut because of time. So yeah, keep putting them down there, keep voting them up. I promise you I will get to them if they're good. Also, don't forget, shameless self-promotion plug here, patches are in the store, airsoftLG.com/store. I've got these in stock, the reorders in. They've been selling like crazy, thank you so much. $7 shipped anywhere worldwide. Free shipping, no matter if you're in the United States or you're in Europe or you're in Russia or wherever. I'll get them to you for $7 in the mail, US dollars. Also, I want to say big thanks to the feedback I got on the gameplay footage I put up from SC Village, the new video series I'm doing, the debrief, and man, the feedback has been fantastic. So stay tuned for more of those. Those are going to really come from more pickup games, local games, things like that. I'm still going to save my Milsim events for what I'm going to be doing with it, which you'll start seeing next week. And of course, this week is my loadout video coming up, as well as the side-by-side MP5 comparison video. In case you guys are in the market for one of those, you want to see the difference between the VFC and the competition version that Elite Force has. Also got some other good reviews going. I've got like 2 or 3 more in the hopper, and I've got a couple tech how-tos on the way, as well as a V12 install into a Honey Badger. That should be in a couple weeks. So that should tide everybody over, hopefully until the next Monday. And guys, as always, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being part of the community down in the comment section below, because there are so many questions I can't answer. You guys do such a great job helping each other out, and I really appreciate that. So guys, until next week, go out, have some fun, play some airsoft, but no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.